Good evening. We're here today at Franklin Elementary School for a very interesting discussion with our principal and our soon-to-be principal about the Franklin Elementary School time capsule. Just recently, after 25 years, we opened up the time capsule and looked at a number of the items, very interesting items that were in there. And right now, we are preparing for the new time capsule, which will not be opened until 2050. Wow. I'll be here for that, I think. So I'm with our Franklin principal, Beth Kramer. And Beth, first, I want to say we appreciate everything that you have done at Franklin Elementary, because we know at the end of the year you're going to be moving on to another assignment in your career. And also here with us is James Dargan, and James, many of you may know as one of the house principals at our middle school. He will be moving over to Franklin as our new principal here. So let's talk a little bit about the time capsule that we opened up and the one that we're going to fill.
So about a month ago, we opened up the Franklin time capsule in the front of the building, took out the items, and I have to tell you, I didn't do it in advance, so it was a big surprise to me what was in there. Those are what we have displayed today from 1979 and the year 2000, and then according to the sign in the front of the building, we open it in 2025, and here we are. 2050 will be the next time around. So we opened up those items and got a look at them, and we've had them out on display for staff in the building, and that day the students got to see them. My hope is tonight everyone gets a really good look.
Well, Beth, just out of curiosity, as you said, you opened it up previously and people had a chance to take a look. What item or items were the ones that garnered the most interest?
So in Pottstown, we have a lot of people who have been here for a long time. Their families were here, their dad went here, cousins, uncles, brothers, and so they were looking through those pictures and identifying people they knew, which I think is really the blessing and wonderful thing about the Pottstown School District is we have people who come back, and this is their home. So I think that just solidified that for me. That was heartwarming.
Well, James, you're going to be the new man in town and helping to put together what goes into the time capsule for 2050. Wow, it's hard to even say that number, 2050. So what are some of your thoughts about, first, what things that you saw in the time capsule that we opened up that were of interest to you?
Well, first I want to recognize the rich history that the Pottstown community is sharing here in our building. And it just really it's just a nice sense of nostalgia here. So what triggered me was looking at the pictures as well, and also some of the items that I played with as a kid, and that I also played with my kids with. So it was great to see as part of this time capsule. And I do plan to be around with you in the next time capsule opening as well.
Okay, well listen, now that you gave it up, there were toys here that you played with and you play with the kids. Now you got to point one out to us. We got to see what you're talking about.
Ms. Kramer and I, we talked about the Hot Wheels, and it looks like we have over 50 years of Hot Wheels, because if we look at the 1979 one as well, and the 2000 one, we still see the Hot Wheels are still a staple amongst the community. So it's a great thing to have here as part of the capsule.
Great. Well, James, assuming that we're both here in 2050,
Of course.
so what are some of your expectations as you move forward now as the principal for Franklin Elementary in the next 25 years? What are some of your expectations? What are some of your thoughts about the school, about you, how you are going to interact as principal? What are some of your goals? I know I just threw a lot of stuff at you.
It's okay. Well, I definitely like to continue with the rich heritage and tradition here at the Franklin Elementary. Pottstown is a very rich community, as you can see here laid out on the table, and that's definitely a goal of mine to continue to make sure we continue to bridge that gap between family and school. We want to make sure everyone is welcomed into the building and make sure we're supporting the community through the kids that are coming into the building.
All right, now I'm going to ask you another question. So only for the sake of argument, that come 2050, you've retired, I've retired, things have moved on. What is one thing that you hope the people that are here in 2050, what is one thing that you hope they get from opening up the capsule and seeing what we thought was important?
Definitely the continued progression of the community and the family that has been established here from 1979 through 2050.
Well, Beth, as you leave, as you're departing, what are some of the fond memories that you're going to take with you when somebody says, where were you principal before? And you say, Franklin Elementary School, and they say, well, what's that about?
So I have to tell you, I'm really bad with favorites because so many of these things for me are so very meaningful. In getting to spend these last couple weeks with my kids here, I'm definitely going to miss my students. Getting to spend those opportunities, those times when they are just really enjoying themselves and demonstrating the type of learners and people they're going to be is a gift. So I'm very thankful to have had this opportunity from Pottstown to be in this role. So I'll be taking those little snippets. For me, it's all about those little moments as opposed to the big moments. This is a great day, but I think about having an assembly earlier today with my kids and looks on their faces and the relationship we've built, and it's all about relationships.
Wow. Something we talk about all the time, the value of developing personal relationships. So in some ways, the time capsule is going to be a way for people from 25 years ago to develop a little bit of that sense of relationship of Franklin Elementary School, Franklin community. Because when we say elementary school, it's not just the building. It's the neighborhood around the building. It's the people, it's the students, it's the families, it's the neighbors. All of those combine together to create the atmosphere, the culture that is not only Pottstown School District, but specifically Franklin Elementary School. And that's very important, I think.
And if I may, some of the things as I'm looking across the years, we see a lot of things that are different, but James alluded to this a little bit. We're seeing values that are represented in each year from what many of us consider, a length of time ago. And I think those values have really stood fast, and values about being a good person and kind, American values, and it's represented in different ways if you're looking for those themes. It's very important, and I think you'll see it continuing in 2050.
And when we're all here, because we're going to invite you back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to invite you back. And looking forward to what we put into that time capsule for 2075. You're going to be part of putting together the time capsule for 2075. That's pretty. That's a lot to think about for a minute. Well, both of you have done a great job. I know, James, you've done a great job at the middle school and helping develop a very positive culture. And Franklin Elementary School, one of my favorite schools to come by. Both of you are really excellent examples of some of the reasons why we say proud to be from Pottstown. And that pride is going to be extended in another way to this evening yet, because here at Franklin Elementary School this evening, what's going to happen, Beth?
Well, we have the time capsule rededication. We opened it in April, as others have done in these past openings. We're rededicating that this evening. We will have our community have the opportunity to look at everything. They'll be coming in, and we're going to do a rededication ceremony. We're going to have some cake in the back, as all good events should have. And then we have our art and music night tonight at Franklin. So, the people who would typically come out, they're going to get a lot of extra stuff this evening, where they're going to get to see our students perform, get to check out our art display in the hallway. So it's going to be a really great night here.
And probably for some people who might not be familiar with elementary school art and music nights and what they're about. So out in the hallways, you're going to be displaying artwork from students from kindergarten through fourth grade.
Yes.
And then here, in terms of music, what types of music are what groups are going to be there?
So we'll have our chorus and our band students who are performing here tonight. And we had our middle school band actually come and do a special performance for the students earlier, which they love. They're so very talented. So these are our kids who are just starting out in these roles, and we're hoping to have them continue to grow through high school and hopefully beyond, and then also get some of our other students to get involved in those really super healthy and positive habits of getting involved in, in the school in some way. Hopefully music is great, but there's lots of ways to get involved and seeing the value in that.
Well, again, elementary school is a different world all in its own. And we go kindergarten to fourth grade, so that's a little bit different configuration than in some other districts. Okay? But one of the things that is true, regardless of the configuration, regardless of the school district, the month of May is a pretty exciting month in the world of education, because there are so many things, so many culminating events that occur, so many opportunities to celebrate student achievement and student effort. And I'm kind of I'll be back later on tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. And Beth, I've really enjoyed working with you over the course of the years. I'm going to miss you. And James, I'm ready to start a whole new relationship of principal of Franklin Elementary School. So thank you both very much, and we'll see you in 2050.